Well, I guess I was thinking about all the different things I've watched on YouTube and what people do on YouTube, and I give it a lot of thought. Couldn't figure out what I was going to do this week. And then I saw some notes that people had made and saw what they were doing, and they called it an accent tag. And what they were doing is they were reading a set of words, and those words were to, I guess you could say, delineate or make a difference, whatever, between the accents of people up north, down south, out west, out east. I think it was made from somebody in the south based on some of the questions they asked. But let's go ahead and do that and see how it works out. It's called the accent tag. Now I'm going to have to read them to you because they got a list of words here. First one's ant, roof, wash, route, theater, oil, iron, salmon, caramel, water, fire, sure, data, ruin, crayon, New Orleans, pecan. Now, I'm going to stop on pecan just a second because whenever I grew up, I've heard people call them pecans and pecans. And we always called it a pecan pie. So I'm going with pecan. I can't help it if everybody else says pecan. Okay, both, again, probably, spitting image, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, syrup, pajamas, caught, naturally, aluminum. Now on aluminum, I found it kind of interesting over in England when I was talking to some British people over one time. They call it aluminium. And I'm like, wow, that's a serious mouthful for aluminum, but okay. Next one's envelope. Now I've heard people say envelope, but I would have expected to be envelope because the fact when you say envelop something, you don't say envelop something, you say envelope. And an envelope envelops a letter or envelops something else. Okay, and then picture. That's my own addition to this video. The reason I added picture is because I had a great aunt back years ago, and she always said the word picture instead of picture. So I added it in just to see if anybody else would pick up on it and how they pronounced it. Then they said, gave these sentences, what is it called when you throw toilet paper on the house? And of course most everybody said TPing. Well, true, TPing or toilet paper in the house. And like a young lady I saw in one video, she's from here in Kentucky too somewhere, she said what that gets you here is shot. She's pretty much right. Says, what are the little bugs that roll up when you touch them called? I heard all kinds of people call them doodle bugs and roly-polies and stuff. I grew up, we called them ball bugs, so I don't know. What is a bubbly carbonated drink called? Well, people, as far as I know, in Ohio and northern Kentucky call it pop. Many people call it soda. I grew up calling it Coke. And it didn't matter whether it's Coca-Cola brand or a Sprite or a Pepsi or whatever it was all just called Coke. No clue why, but that was the way it was. What do you call gym shoes? Well, tennis shoes or sneakers. What do you say addressing a group of people? Okay, sure, why not y'all? Hey y'all. Hey you guys. Hey you'uns. Whatever I guess you're going to say, it sounds kind of hick, is what's expected. Now I do say the word y'all. I'll admit it. What do you call a spider-like creature with an oval body and 8 very long legs? Everybody else said granddaddy long legs, and that's what I've heard them called too, but when I was young we just abbreviated it instead of daddy long legs. What do you call your grandparents? I call my grandmother grandma, my grandfather grandpa, but when I was very young I had a great grandmother still alive and called her old granny. That's, I guess it was a way to separate between my grandmother and my great grandmother. One was grandma, the other was old granny. What do you call a wheeled contraption used to carry groceries in the supermarket? I heard all kinds of people saying buggy. We call them cart or shopping cart. What do you call it when it rains and the sun shining? Raining. But I did see a guy at work and I asked him to read this off and he called it a sun shower. Never heard that in my life. But now he's from up in New York, so you know, maybe it is a sun shower up there. And what do you call the device you use to change channel on the TV? A remote control. And so I get it that many people talk different, and like the y'all thing, that's just expected here in Kentucky. It's expected in Georgia. The funny thing I found out watching the other videos though, most everybody that said y'all, there was only 2 people, a guy and his girlfriend or wife, and they were from Georgia. So who knows? Anyway, leave comments below, and if you can think of something you'd like to see a video on, and I'm in middle of Kentucky, anything that interests you around here, leave it in the comments and I'll go see if I can find it. Or I'll talk about it if I know about it.